Good to be back. All right.
How many of you guys have that one friend that no matter what happens in their life, no matter what good thing happens in their life, they're constantly worried about something? It doesn't even seem that they have a sliver of hope. And maybe it's justified. Maybe they went through the most traumatic experience ever. Now they're trying to get through that whole phase of recovering from it, trying to get back to who they were before the accident. Or how about this? How many of you have that one friend that no matter what he does, or no matter what you do, he just doesn't seem to have any confidence in himself? Doesn't have the confidence to go approach a woman, doesn't have the confidence to start a conversation with anyone or anything because he's too caught up in how he's looking in front of other people. He's very insecure about himself. Now, for most people who aren't really true friends, they would just leave that person in the dirt to fend for themselves. But if you're looking for a way to encourage the weak-minded and help them gain the courage that you know they have inside of them, then this video is for you. In this video, I'll be giving you 5 ways you can encourage your weak-minded friends and help them gain the confidence that they need to survive in this cruel, cruel world. Let's get to it. Starting with number 1, you have to ask them what's wrong. How are we gonna fix a problem if you don't know what the problem is? In this day and age of modern technology where everyone's trying to be famous or gain some type of notoriety through like TikTok or Instagram or whatever type of social media platform you're on, a lot of people are focused on themselves. And to an extent, that could be a good thing. If you're trying to progress into your career, if you're trying to progress who you are as a person, that's acceptable. But you gotta remember, you're not the only person in this world, especially if you have a good friend group. If one of your friends is going through a really tough time, you don't even think to ask them what's wrong. I think that's a sign that you need to reevaluate your friendship skills. But for the most part, you have to be able to ask your friends what's wrong and understand the situation. Asking what's wrong shows that you actually do care about that person. It'll help them open up to you a little bit more so you can figure out a solution. Because overall, 2 heads are better than 1. That's 2 ideas coming together to find a common solution to help fix the problem. You may not even notice, but your friends might be battling an internal problem right now that they don't know how to fix. They're suffering inside. And a lot of you see signs like that they might be suffering and you choose to ignore it. On occasion, I find myself doing the exact same thing, forgetting to ask people how they are or what's wrong. Or if they do tell me, I kind of just brush it aside, but I'm working on it. It's important that you realize that you need to work on that skill as well. Because a lot of people think they can do stuff by themselves, but they can't. This world is operated by business, and most businesses have a team that works together to make ends meet, to actualize on a goal. So do the same for your friends and ask them what's wrong so you can come to a solution. The second thing to do is to ask to offer your advice. Don't give your advice right away. And I'm only saying that because in certain situations, your friend or whoever you're talking to may not be ready to handle advice right away. The first thing that they want is to be able to feel heard. They want to relinquish all their problems onto you in a sense where they're just releasing that emotion somewhere. They want to be able to feel as if they're getting something off their chest. And the last thing they need to hear is someone else offering an advice that they may not even want. You're walking on uncharted territory right now. So it's only polite that you ask, hey, can I offer some advice? And if they take it, by all means, fire ahead. Tell them what you think they need to hear. But most of the time, you want to wait until the person allows you to say something. Because most of the time, that person may not even want advice. They just want to get something off their chest. And it's your responsibility as that friend or that person in the room to at least be there for when they do. Now, let's talk about the type of advice you should be giving to your friends. I kind of put this down into 3 categories: cold, light, and encouraging. Those are just the words I thought off the top of my head. There's probably a specific word I could use for this type of advice that you can give, but for now, I'm sticking with cold, light, and encouraging. Now, when you ask your friend if you can give advice and they say yes, you can choose one of the 3. You can choose to give them cold advice. And I only say cold because it's more like the raw truth. Say that your friend is going through a terrible breakup, and that's only because he cheated. He was the one at fault. He did something completely disrespectful and wrong, and he got punished for his actions. And now he's sad about it. You can take the route of telling him, listen, you cheated. There's nothing that you can do about it unless you apologize for your actions. You're the one in the wrong. And to a lot of guys, that might work really well to make him shape up, to take ownership, take accountability, because that realization is what's going to make him understand the severity of his actions. Knowing that this is a serious matter that should not be played around with. And that's why he's dealing with the problem he's dealing with now. I wouldn't suggest doing this with women solely because it might rub them the wrong way, which is why you can go to the second method, the light method. Offering light advice, it makes them not see that it wasn't entirely their fault in the situation. So we used the same example before. If one of your friends is going through a breakup because they got caught cheating, and now they're sad about it. If you offer some light advice, the type of advice that would not totally make them contemplate about their actions, but at least understand what's going on and how both parties were at fault. Understanding both sides as to why the action of you cheating occurred. Obviously, you're still taking ownership of your actions, but finding out the reason why you did it and saying you're justified for doing this because of this. This happened to you, so you acted out of character. It's okay, everyone goes through that. They weren't treating you well, so you did this. That's offering light advice. Now, that's not to say that you're not taking ownership of your actions still. If someone's offering you advice, that advice has to include you knowing that you have to take ownership of your actions, no matter what you do. But at least this kind of lightens up the mood a little bit. And the third type of advice that you can give is the encouraging type of advice, where it's a little bit of mix of cold and light. You tell them what they did wrong. You explain to them the severity of their actions. But then you also explain to them, listen, like, I understand why you did this. I understand why you did that. Then you have to ask them, what are you gonna do about it now? What's the game plan now? It's too late to play the blame game. Now it's time to find a solution. You're better than this. Keep moving forward. Just like that one quote in Rocky. It's not about how hard you get hit, but it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. No matter what happens to you in life, you have to keep moving forward, one foot ahead of the other. Why are you gonna stop? Why would you stop? You have so much to live for. Now, the fourth step is to now offer your help. As a friend of a person who just got broken up with because of something that they did wrong, it can be your job to offer help to help that person move past this instance, to be a better person afterwards. That can include taking them out to enjoy the scenery at some park. It could include going out to the bar and just getting a drink. It could be just spending time together playing video games or watching a movie, or even just having a simple conversation about the topic. Having a simple conversation about any topic, truly. And then when the time is right to talk about what happened, help them understand how to avoid this ever happening again. Maybe you tell them, hey, don't go for these type of women. Telling them to take those type of people out of your life. Focus on talking to these kind of people who are gonna help you grow. And being there for them every step of the way. Telling them that they can call you anytime you're going through something troubling. Whatever the situation may be. And what that does for them is to let them know that they're not alone in this scary, scary situation. Because most of the time it's the fear that causes people to lose faith, to doubt themselves, and then they recycle back to their old ways. They can't seem to get out of that habit, and they go down the spiraling road of like failure and depression, all because they didn't have someone to help them out. Now, I'm not saying it's your obligation to help a person out. Everyone should be able to, as an adult, everyone should be able to fend for themselves and learn from their mistakes and act on it, be an adult. But I do think it's important for people to have someone, a support system to lean on, to help them out during times of need. You don't have to be there every beck and call. But just being a good person can take both of you guys a long way. You have your own life to focus on too. But take a moment to at least help a person out if they're asking you for help. Sometimes you gotta kind of nudge them to let you help them out. But I guarantee you, even though they don't ask for it, they very much do appreciate you reaching out to them to help them. So don't give up. Help out those who can't help out themselves. The fifth and final step is to live by example. Practice what you preach. Now, when it comes to encouraging weak-minded people, especially those that copy habits that they see all over the world, all over the internet, it helps to know that there is a person in this world that actually has the correct habits that they are looking for. A person who acts just and right in situations that they wish they could perform in. That leaves a mental picture in their mind that being a better person is achievable by the way that you act. So imagine if a person is going through something difficult, say that he's getting over a certain addiction, and he sees you, a perfect role model, and he wants to be exactly like you in the sense of that he doesn't drink excessively, he doesn't gamble excessively, he doesn't even look at porn. Come to find out that you do one of the three things, or even do all of the three things behind closed doors, and he finds that out. His world would be fucking ruined, causing the relapse because he looked up to you, and you didn't live up to his expectations, which is fair. Hey, listen, everyone can live their own life. I'm not telling you to live a certain way for another person. But if you want to be able to encourage the weak, you have to be able to live by example. Now, I'm not saying I'm a saint or anything like that, but I went to an all-boys school. And by the time I was a senior, you had the juniors, the sophomores, and the freshmen looking up to the seniors, looking up to the way they acted. And I'm telling you right now, kids, especially kids nowadays, they look up to people. They try to emulate, they try to copy people. They try to make them their role model. Even if they don't say it, they try to make them their role model. They try to be like certain people that they seem cool, especially older guys. If they see you doing stuff that looks cool, but in reality is an endangerment to a lot of people, like for example, acting a fool in class or vandalizing or even smoking on campus, they're gonna think that's cool and then they're gonna copy that behavior because monkey see, monkey do. We're visual creatures, we try to copy what we see. They're gonna copy those specific actions and implement that into their own behavior. all because of what you did. And listen, I know you're saying, I didn't ask them to make me their role model. It's not up to you. That's just how people work. So it's up to you, no matter where you go. If you want to be able to encourage the weak-minded people who are looking for that role model, you have to be an astute man of character. And you gotta do it for the betterment of society. You may not be perfect, but at least try. Because whether you like it or not, people will be looking up to you. And it's your job to lead them down the right path, whether indirectly or directly. It's all up to your behavior. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'm curious. But yeah, if you like what you heard, make sure to like and subscribe. Share to someone who needs to hear this. Other than that, develop a prodigy mindset and tackle your problems with everything you got. I believe in you. Take care. Peace.